Hello, storytellers! Welcome to Bound by Words, and welcome to our productivity sprints of the last week of Camp NaNo. I can't believe it's the last week already. I mean, it is the 29th, so we do have a few more days to go. I did stretch my week 3 vlog, really became my week 3 to 4 vlog because I'm going to do a separate one just for this weekend. I want to get a lot of words in, a lot of words. That's my goal, is a lot of words. Also, I have been tracking, and I'll probably talk about this a lot later, I have been tracking potential story names or project names for this new book that I'm starting. So there's been a lot of progress in July, but I can't believe it's already over. Of course, like always, I think I would have liked to get a whole lot more done than I actually did. But we have lots of productivity to look forward to today in this stream, and then just over the weekend. I might try to do some productivity sprints on Sunday if we're free and everyone is interested. But yeah, with that, I'm going to get our warm-up sprint going. If you are new here, I like to do a warm-up sprint where it's just 15 minutes of, get your project out, save it, set up what you're working on. If you have to get out notes or index cards, anything to really help you be extra productive. I'll probably run and get my tea that I forgot on the counter and then come back and really just find out where I'm working. And I might take a minute to read what I had written before so that I can add to it, all of that fun stuff. So while you pop in, make sure you let me know what you're working on in the chat. And yeah, I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Happy writing. All right, that's the end of our warm-up sprint. I hope you got everything situated. I actually had already started writing. I went and got my tea, and I pet my cat a little bit because he was behind me throwing a fuss. And then when I pulled out my Scrivener document, I was just sort of like ready to pick up where I left off. I recently started doing this thing just in the last few days, and I think it has been very beneficial. I talked about in my last vlog and also probably last week that I was sort of having a problem just like committing to a beginning and moving on, which I think is something kind of common. Not necessarily that I want to keep going back and editing, but because I wasn't doing really a whole lot of planning for this book. I keep thinking of like better ideas for, a good opening or like a good rising action like plot point that the front would have to be a little bit different for. So like I would write a portion and then I would move on, and then I like rewrote the beginning once, and then like I moved on, but then I had to remove a couple thousand words, and then so it's not necessarily that I'm going back and editing, but I feel like I was fussing a little bit too much, and I do know that this is going to be a zero draft because I didn't do any of the planning, and I'm totally okay with that. So what I started to do was anytime that I wanted to take out words or change them, instead of like just like putting brackets in or a note in underneath of it, I've actually been like highlighting that whole section in Scrivener and then putting it in brackets and making the text like gray, like a light gray where I can see that there are words there, but it's not so dark that any of them would really catch my eye while I'm scrolling. And I gotta say that that's been like really, really helpful, because whenever I am writing and then I realize, like even if it's just the last 500 words that I've written or 200 words that I've written, if I'm like, that doesn't really line up where I want the story to go, I can just highlight that and gray that out and move on. So that's been pretty awesome for my productivity levels and everything like that. But yeah, let me know if you're here, what kind of writing sprints you want to do, like time-wise. I have 25-minute timers and 30-minute timers queued up. I think this one 25-minute timer we used last time is really cute, so I'm going to click through the ad on that one. But yeah, my NaNoWriMo is going kind of okay. I am the tiniest bit behind, but like the kind of behind where at right now it's going to be no problem for me to catch up. I was pretty behind in the middle of the week. Like I was 2 or 3 hours behind like the early part of the middle of this week. But I have since caught up, and now I think I'm just like, it's like 35 minutes behind, but I do plan on spending a lot of time just this weekend writing, so I think I'm actually going to finish ahead. Hopefully I'll finish ahead. But my big project for this last week and this last weekend was to pick a working title for my piece. So I did open up on Scrivener. I like put another section under notes, and I just titled it general, just for like general note taking or whatever. But I have 2 sections, one for project titles that I think would be like good complete titles for the story, and another one that are project titles that like start with the word project, because I think I would be okay with that. Like I want a working title, something to call it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like a working book title. I think I would be okay with like project something. So I started that running list, not this last week, but at the end of like the week before that. And I gotta say, there are some on here that I'm really attached to, and then there's some that I just don't know if I want to share yet, because I don't know if that's like something that I could even pick. So I don't really know yet if I wanted to vote, because I was kind of thinking about just picking a few of my favorites and then doing like a vote at the end of this next weekend. I don't think that's something I necessarily feel confident enough to do with my choices, but I do have a few options up there, and I was really excited about that. So if there's no other complaints when it comes to time, I think I'm going to start a 25-minute writing sprint. Again, I think I might, so like I picked Friday kind of arbitrarily. I think I might switch my stream date around a little bit. I know a lot of people like streaming on Monday, but I can't stream from 1 to 3 like I normally do, because I got a new job I started in this last week. It has been absolutely wonderful. The team is great. The editing is great and fun. It's just for a media company. So I'm thinking about another date or time that I'd want to work. I know Monday is good for a lot of people, but I would have to do something like 3 to 5. So if that's something you guys are interested in, weekly or even every other week, let me know. And I see Mr. Blandish just jumped in. Hello, hello. I see there's some other people, but they're a little bit quiet. So hello if you're there. Thanks for visiting while you're at work. I know it's like such a weird time to stream, where sometimes I feel like everyone's on and super active and free, but then sometimes because it's like, the work day in the middle of the day, we're all kind of busy. But I wanted to get some productivity in, so we're going to jump on another writing sprint. We're going to do 25 minutes with this cute little Oriental timer. And I'm gonna keep adding words and then graying out things that I don't like or want to change or I'm thinking about removing. That way I'm not fussing over them. And then adding to my list of names. I will say, even though I'm keeping this running tally of like project names and like working titles to pick from, I think that I do best thinking of those like when I just sit down and I think of a few in a row. So I'm not really switching back and forth between the two, but I am sort of keeping my eyes open for good like I want to say like ambience words, like as I'm typing and writing, when you type something and you go, "Oh, that sounds really dramatic and nice." I'm keeping my eye open for stuff like that for me to use in my hunt for a working title. But for most of the 25 minutes, I'm probably just gonna be drafting. I know usually I have to like juggle 1,000 projects, but I should be editing like my vlog from last week and this week. But I want to get some words done with you guys, and then maybe I'll do that after we're done or closer to the end if I hit like a good word count number. But yeah, with that, I will see you in 25 minutes. Happy productivity and happy writing. All right, that was the end of our first long sprint after our warm-up sprint. Let me know. Ooh. All right, that was the end of our... I didn't realize the volume was on that. Let me know what you're working on and what progress you made. Do you have any goals for the sprint or the day? I think the next sprint we'll probably do is about 30 minutes. Yeah, so I did a little bit of a detour. I was adding words, and then I was making notes for something I wanted to share on Instagram, and then I have been accidentally fighting with Instagram. It's not fun. I don't know if any of you have like a Facebook business page that's connected to your Instagram so that you can like schedule posts and whatever, but Facebook has like never allowed me to do that. Every time I try to connect my Instagram for like writing content, it always tells me there's an error. So it'll let me do every single stage, and at the very end it'll be like, error, we can't connect. And then it kept giving me these like notifications like contact support, like if you don't know how to, like, I don't, it, like they're all like, if this didn't answer and it didn't fix it, contact support, but there is no support to contact, and it's just like going in circles on their website. So I did get about let's see, I got 297 words done before I sort of accidentally derailed to that. And then the time sort of got away from me from there. It's so weird. Like I have this business Facebook page that I made just recently with the sole purpose of like connecting everything so that I can post more regularly and less stressfully. And I was even looking at like home solutions just for sharing writing content and editing content and whatever. And a lot of like the how to fix it on your own solutions are like really, really complicated, but I might have to like mess around with some of those today if nobody has some better advice. If I use an incognito browser, it'll let me log in, but it won't let me attach anything. It'll just let me log in like once and post. So that's like wildly inconvenient. But yeah, I think next we'll probably do like a 30-minute sprint. It's definitely pretty quiet today with I feel like everyone's busy working and whatnot. But yeah, let me know if there are any objections to the longer sprints. I think 30 minutes probably is the longest that I'm going to do today. And I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to fight with Facebook for at least the first 5 or 10 minutes of this next sprint because I was in the middle of something that I thought I might be able to find, like the help number to call or the service number. So I think I'll set a timer and I'll give myself really just like 5 to 10 minutes. Like I'll do 5 minutes and then I'll wrap up whatever I'm working on or fussing with then. And then go back to drafting because my pitiful 300 words is just not enough for the day. And I do need to, I have 3 days, including today, to pick a working title, and I just want to write more so that I feel more comfortable about what I pick. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to share this timer. Chrome tab. I love this little sprint timer I found. Big fan of it. See you guys in 30 minutes. Happy productivity. All right, that is the end of our third sprint. Let me know what you got done, if you're meeting your goals for the day, all that fun jazz. I got another, let's see, I fought with finding a customer. I found a customer support number finally, but I also found this weird thing saying my account was restricted. My Facebook account, like my personal Facebook account, because I needed to verify my identity to run ads. But I'm not trying to run ads, so that was kind of confusing. But it only took me a couple more minutes to find a Facebook help number. And then I went back to drafting, and let me see how many words that I got done. Not as many as I would have liked. 236 words. So, not the most, but, it's better than nothing. And that's just like what I'm shooting for right now. Especially because I'm just going to draft this next sprint. I'm going to try my hardest not to get distracted. So we'll see how that goes. Let me know in the chat if your NaNoWriMo is going well, if you have goals, if you're meeting them, what you're working on. I see Tiffany popped in. Hello, and welcome. It's definitely it's a quiet afternoon, I think. So if you just popped in, I've seen a couple other people just came in. Let me know what you're working on in the chat and how the month's going. Mine's going okay. I'm just a little bit behind, like 35 minutes. And I didn't really tally up my sprints or anything from today because I know like even with that, I'll probably be a little bit behind because it's like 35 minutes plus my hour that I wanted to do today. But overall in the month, I wanted to do 30 hours and there are 31 days in the month. So I had like a little bit of leeway that I gave myself, and I'm definitely going to be working a lot over the next couple days. I'm probably going to like vlog just this last weekend as an attempt to really push for, I wanted to do 10K words, but I don't think I'm going to make it, especially because I had to remove big sections of script a couple of times, but I want to push for 10K words and I need to pick a working title. So if you weren't here earlier, I have been listing some working title ideas over the last week and a couple of days. And I have some ideas that are like concise book titles, like they could be book titles. And then I have some ideas that are just like project whatever. So I've just been listing those as I brainstorm them and think about them, but it is a little bit distracting to think about while I write. So if I see something or write something that I'm like, ooh, that's dramatic and I like it, I'll make a little note. But otherwise, I have spent like a little bit of time in a few different days, parts of the week, sitting down and brainstorming. My big dilemma is that even though I love some of the things that I came up with for a working title, I know the more that I write, the more the book is going to start to feel different. So my big hesitation on like sharing the ideas and taking a vote, really a lot of it is just that I don't know if the book's going to really feel the same in a month. Other than that, when it comes to word count, something I started doing earlier this week, and I talked about briefly earlier in the stream, is I started graying out the words that I wanted to remove and change instead of just doing like the brackets or the stars and leaving myself notes, and instead of removing the words. So I want to say the first 2 weeks I had been writing a lot, but then I went back and I picked up big sections of like the text and I was like, this doesn't apply anymore. And I removed it. And I was like saving that, like I didn't just delete it, I put it in another folder. But even that was like a little bit of extra energy where I'd have to go back through and say, okay, like from this part to this part, I want to move. And then after I did that a few times, my like labels for them felt a little bit vague, like moved this from this file on this date, but like that doesn't really give me a good sense of why I moved it or what I was thinking. So instead in Scrivener, what I've been doing is I have been highlighting those sections when I want to move them or change them, and I have been changing them to a very light gray color. Light enough that it doesn't catch my eye, like my brain doesn't pick up the words when I scroll through, but dark enough that I can just see something that is there. So I did, before I started writing today, I didn't like the ending of what I had written last time. I felt like it was just too easy. You know, like when you're writing and you have like an intense scene and then afterwards, like I think I faded off into some like slice of life stuff that nobody cares about. But it was like 152 words. So instead of worrying about deleting it or saving it or moving it around or labeling it, I just highlighted it, I put it in brackets, and I made it like a pale gray. And that has been saving my word count a whole lot this last week. I mean, you know, like there, a lot of them are words that I'm going to get rid of or I'm going to change, but I think it's like mentally less draining to go back and change those words. So even if I don't count them in my word count, I spend less time being confused on like where I wanted to like pick up and where I wanted to go. So it's just like a good way to limit stress. I see Tiffany said I did a bit of marketing for my new Kindle Vella story and started on lunch. I thought that said launch, and I was excited again. That makes sense, and I like that idea. Yeah, I don't know where I randomly was like, why don't I do this? And I was really excited about it. Using the gray. But congratulations on the marketing. You might actually be the only one who can answer this. Maybe not. I don't know if you use Facebook or Instagram. I had mentioned earlier when it was a little bit quiet, I'm having trouble connecting my Instagram account to Facebook. It just like won't let me do it. And I'm doing it solely for the purpose of like editing and marketing and like book marketing. So like the only snag that I think could have anything to do with it is how I like mentioned earlier that my personal Facebook account is restricted for advertising, and I can't advertise with my personal Facebook account because I didn't verify my identity. So I sent in a picture of my ID for that. And if that doesn't work, I honestly am clueless. So if any of you are experts in that, please let me know, because I feel like when it comes to book marketing and book publishing, between like my degree and, you know, like the 2 years that I've been in the industry, I feel like I have a very good sense of how to do the marketing, like how to go about it, how to like schedule posts and how to like create hype over books and stuff like that. But when it comes to this dumb technical side of it, and I feel like a lot of people probably get stumped of this. Like you can plan the launch, you can plan the exciting giveaways, you can think about the merch, but when it comes to the dumb technical side, I'm always at a loss. Always. So I think I want to do a 25-minute sprint if that is okay with everybody else. Now that my rant about Facebook marketing connecting is over, I need to shut that window. I always forget sometimes. So I'm going to do a 20-minute, I'm going to pull up a 20-minute timer or 25-minute timer. And then I'm probably going to go shut that window. I'm going to watch this ad. I'm going to save you guys from this ad. Remember to save your work and get a drink of water if you haven't recently. Also remember to like the video and please consider subscribing. I had mentioned earlier, but there wasn't as many people in the chat, that I'm thinking about changing the day that I'm streaming. But I got a new job this week. It has been going absolutely wonderful. The downside is I can't do like 1 to 3 anymore on any of the days of the week now. So I was thinking about switching back to Monday, but I'd have to do something later, like 3 to 5 or like 4 to 6 or something like that. So if you guys have a day in the afternoon where you would like to stream, then yeah, let me know, because I'm kind of open other than that. Other than Thursdays, I can't do it on Thursdays. That could be it. I hope that's not it. Mine is tied to my Facebook business page and not my personal page. So it's my personal Facebook account, and I have a business page. It's the only page I own is a business page. But like me as the admin, it has me marked as my personal account because I don't want to create a whole separate Facebook account for a business page when the account is literally going to be bare. So it's like my personal account that is restricted for advertising that I would never advertise on. But my Facebook business page and my Instagram business page, which also have their own separate business email, it's so weird. Like everything for Bound by Words, like financially and social media wise, is completely separate from me, other than the fact that like my personal Instagram or my personal Facebook account created the business page. I hope that's not it, but I'll keep you updated if you're interested. Yeah, I'm gonna share that timer. I pulled that timer up and I watched the, oh, did I finish watching the ad? I did finish watching the ad. I'm a little bit scatterbrained, but it's good. It's the kind of productive scatterbrain that helps me get stuff done. I have a little bit under 1,000 words done for the day. And then I don't really have a word count goal. I want to hit 10,000 for the month. So I feel like if I just keep trucking through this weekend like I wanted to, I would. But any amount of time I feel like I spend writing today just feels good. Today's a feel-good writing day. Let's see. Yeah, it's my personal account, but I have a business page under that, and I connected them. See, it says I can connect, and it says I do everything like else right, and then I'll put in all the information, and it'll be like, confirm that you own both of these things, and then it'll tell me to type in like my Instagram password, and I will, and it'll be the right password, and then it'll randomly go like, there has been an error or something went wrong, we're looking into it. But it has been doing that for like months and months and months. If I go into incognito and I log in incognito, it'll work, which is weird. That's like advice I found online. I don't know why anyone would like think to do that. So yeah, I'm just super confused. So instead of stressing out about that, I'm going to stress out about how my book is in pieces. It's not really in pieces, but like, yeah, I want to say like I don't have any plans for it, but I have so many plans for it, and that's the issue is I have so many exciting plans, especially for the part that I'm on now, and it's almost like the plans that I had. I don't know which order I want them to go in. So like as I'm writing, I'm like I know I want these 5 like really exciting things to happen in my book, but like which order makes the most sense? I'm an editor with a certificate in developmental editing for fiction. It shouldn't be so stressful, but it's the exciting kind of stressful. So I'm probably going to make a little bit of brainstorming notes on the side and then jump right back into drafting. And then I'm probably going to give Facebook the 48 hours they told me it would take to verify my ID. And then I'm going to call that help number and be like, hey, can you just fix it or tell me how to fix it and see what happens. But I will see you guys in 25 minutes. Happy writing, happy productivity, happy whatever you're working on. Remember to like the stream and consider subscribing if you want to do writing sprints in the future. All right, that was the end of what will be our last writing sprint, because it's a little bit after 3 now already. So thank you for the writing and the productivity today. Thank you for everyone who popped in and out. I don't really have anything exciting to share other than, it's the end of NaNoWriMo and just working on our projects, really. I started a new job this week, and that's kind of exciting, and it's only really hindered my writing the tiniest bit. So, yeah, I'm just like taking it one day at a time. I don't really have any like concrete plans for the next day that I'm gonna pick to stream, but I do know that I think I want to switch back to Mondays if that's like something that everybody can get behind. Mondays from probably like 3 to 5, because I think there's a lot more people who are on and free, and maybe fewer creators who are streaming as well. So I'm probably going to be doing that. If you don't want to subscribe yet, or you would prefer Instagram, definitely follow me there, because I will post any of those updates. The links for that always in the description below, as well as some links to some writing playlists if anybody's interested in that. But yeah, with that, thank you for sprinting. Thank you for all of your encouragement and motivation and being productive and all of the writing chatting. And I'll see you guys probably over the weekend. I think I'm going to have a pop-up sprint at least once over these last 2 days of NaNoWriMo, and I'm going to try to attend as many writing sprints as I can. So happy writing, a happy end of Camp NaNoWriMo weekend. I hope you guys meet your writing goals.